Welcome to Paranoia Unveiled. Today we are going to discuss about chemtrails. You've likely seen them. Those long white streaks crisscrossing the sky, trailing behind jet aircraft. They're called contrails, short for condensation trails, a natural byproduct of high-altitude flight. But some believe there's more to these trails than meets the eye. Enter the world of chemtrails, a theory that suggests these contrails are in fact intentional chemical releases affecting the population below. Chemtrails, according to this theory, are not just water vapor but are laced with harmful substances released for nefarious purposes. This theory has stirred up quite the storm, attracting a vast array of believers, skeptics, and everyone in between. But are these claims grounded in fact or fiction? Is there a hidden truth behind these seemingly innocent trails in our sky? Or is this just another conspiracy theory, a product of misinformation and paranoia? So, what is the truth about chemtrails? Let's find out. Chemtrails have been a hot topic among conspiracy theorists for decades. The term chemtrail is a fusion of chemical and trail, a shorthand for the white streaks that crisscross our sky left by passing aircraft. However, according to this popular conspiracy theory, these are not mere vapor trails from jet engines, but rather, they are believed to be chemical or biological agents deliberately sprayed at high altitudes for a purpose undisclosed to the general public. This theory posits that the powers that be, whether they're governments, secret societies, or corporate entities, are using these chemtrails as a means of mass control or manipulation. Some theorists suggest they contain substances meant to control our minds, alter the weather, or even modify our genetic structure. Others claim they are a part of a larger geoengineering project to combat climate change or a bio-warfare tactic. And where did this theory originate? It's hard to pin down exactly, but it seems to have gained traction in the late 90s. Internet forums and radio talk shows became platforms where people shared photographs of airplane trails, connecting them with a myriad of health issues and environmental concerns. The theory has been fueled by several high-profile individuals over the years. Celebrities, politicians, and even some scientists have publicly questioned the nature of these trails, adding fuel to the fire and giving the theory more credibility among those already inclined to believe. What's more, the secrecy and lack of transparency often associated with government projects or corporate experiments have only served to bolster these beliefs. After all, history has shown us that clandestine operations are not outside the realm of possibility. This lack of trust in authority figures and institutions feeds into the narrative, making the chemtrail conspiracy theory all the more captivating. But is there any truth to these claims? Let's delve a bit deeper. Before we continue, it's important to understand what we're seeing in the sky. Those white lines streaking across the blue expanse above us, trailing behind jet planes, are called contrails. Contrails is a short form for condensation trails, and they're not as mysterious as some might lead you to believe. Now let's dive into the science behind these contrails. Picture a jet plane, soaring high above the ground, its engines roaring as it speeds through the sky. These engines are burning fuel, and this process produces two main byproducts: water and carbon dioxide, much like when you exhale on a cold day and see your breath fog up. As the jet plane cruises at high altitudes where temperatures can drop below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, the water vapor produced by the engines instantly freezes into tiny ice crystals. These ice crystals are what we see as contrails, forming that characteristic white streak across the sky. Now you might wonder why contrails can persist and even spread out to form cloud-like patterns. Well, the answer lies in the atmospheric conditions at the time. If the air is moist and the humidity is high, these ice crystals can attract more water vapor, causing the contrail to grow and spread. On the other hand, if the air is dry, the ice crystals will evaporate quickly, and the contrail will dissipate almost as soon as it's formed. So, in essence, contrails are just a visible display of the water cycle in action. Water vapor condensing and freezing into ice crystals, then evaporating back into the atmosphere. They're quite a fascinating phenomenon if you think about it, and they certainly aren't made of harmful chemicals or substances designed to influence the weather or control minds, as some theories might suggest. So, if contrails are just water vapor, where do the chemtrail theories come from? Well, that's a whole different story, and we'll delve into that in the next part of our discussion. Stay tuned for more. Many claims have been made about chemtrails, but what does the evidence say? The scientific community has put the chemtrail theory under the microscope and the results are clear. There's no credible evidence supporting the existence of chemtrails. Let's dive into some of these studies and expert opinions. First up, we have the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, who have outright stated that contrails are harmless, and are simply the result of normal aircraft engine exhausts. These contrails are made up of water vapor that quickly freezes into ice particles, creating the white streaks we see in the sky. Similarly, the World Meteorological Organization has also debunked the chemtrail theory, explaining that contrails are nothing more than water vapor and do not contain harmful chemicals. They even pointed out that the trails left by planes are too high in the atmosphere to affect weather patterns or harm people on the ground. Need more evidence? How about a peer-reviewed study published in Environmental Research Letters where 76 out of 77 atmospheric chemists and geochemists stated that they found no evidence of a secret large-scale atmospheric program, or SLAP, which is what the chemtrail conspiracy essentially claims to be. Not to mention that the logistics of such a conspiracy would be staggering. Covertly loading thousands of planes with chemicals and flying them all over the world without a single whistleblower or tangible evidence coming forward. That's a tall order, even for the most imaginative minds. And yet, despite all this hard evidence, the chemtrail conspiracy persists. It's a fascinating phenomenon, really. Scientists and experts around the world, the people who dedicate their lives to understanding our environment, have all debunked the theory. They've provided clear, understandable explanations, and yet, the belief in chemtrails continues. So, we must ask ourselves, why is that? Why does the chemtrail conspiracy continue to capture the imagination despite the lack of evidence? Is it mistrust in authorities, or perhaps a need to make sense of a complex world? Despite the lack of evidence, the chemtrail conspiracy persists. Why is that? The belief in chemtrails, like many conspiracy theories, isn't just about the evidence, it's also deeply rooted in our psychology. Let's delve into the human mind, shall we? It's a complex place where emotions, experiences, and perceptions coalesce, shaping our beliefs and understanding of the world. Among these myriad factors, certain psychological elements seem to fertilize the ground where conspiracy theories grow. First, there's a sense of powerlessness. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, conspiracy theories can offer an illusion of control. They present a narrative where everything happens for a reason, even if that reason is a sinister plot by some shadowy organization. This narrative can be strangely comforting, making the world feel less random and more manageable. Next, there's a deep-seated desire for understanding and certainty. We humans are naturally curious creatures. We crave explanations for what we see around us. Conspiracy theories, with their intricate plots and secret machinations, can feed this craving, providing a simple answer to complex questions. Finally, there's a tendency to see patterns where none exist, a phenomenon known as apophenia. Our brains are wired to find connections, even when they're not there. This can lead us to see a contrail in the sky and perceive it as part of a grand, interconnected scheme. But here's the thing. These psychological factors are not unique to conspiracy theorists. We all feel powerless at times. We all yearn for understanding and certainty. And we all have a knack for seeing patterns even when they're purely coincidental. It's part of being human. So when we talk about chemtrails, or any conspiracy theory for that matter, it's important to remember that the belief in these theories is not solely a product of ignorance or irrationality, it's also a reflection of our shared human psychology. Understanding these factors can help us see why conspiracy theories persist, even in the face of contradictory evidence. So, where does this leave us with chemtrails? Well, we've journeyed through the thick layers of this conspiracy theory, dissected the science behind contrails, and even delved into the psychology of why such theories gain traction. It's clear that while the idea of chemtrails is certainly intriguing, it's not supported by concrete evidence. Contrails, those white lines crisscrossing our skies, are nothing more than water vapor. The scientific community agrees on this. The concept of chemtrails, on the other hand, is rooted more in fear and misunderstanding than fact. It's a testament to our human tendency to seek patterns, to find explanations, even when none exist. In essence, chemtrails are a captivating narrative, a story we tell ourselves. But like many stories, they blur the line between reality and fiction. Remember, it's always vital to question, to explore, but also to accept the evidence that is presented to us. Thanks for watching. Like and share, subscribe for more videos. Have a nice day, thank you.